Mrs. A here. I am a licensed professional teacher in the Philippines, major in mathematics, and I also passed the exam for teacher certification here in the US. I'm here to help you to pass your exam too. This part focuses on mathematics for general education. If you want to learn more about the specific topic, check my playlist for more videos. Let's get started. The following questions here focus on the use of four fundamental operations in problem solving. I want you to give a minute to answer the question. Just pause the video and unpause if you are ready to reveal the answer and the solution. So number one here, the auditorium seats are in 25 rows and 12 columns. How many seats are in the auditorium? So the answer here is C, 300. Now, rows run horizontal and columns run vertical. So it means simply we're just going to multiply 25 times 12, and that is equal to 300. Question number 2. Tom had 525.50 pesos. He spent 235.65 pesos and gave 100 pesos to Carl. How much money is left with him? Okay, here, there are different ways on how you can solve this one. It's either you are going to add first 235.65 pesos and 100 pesos, and then you subtract it here. Or you can subtract first 235.65, and then whatever the result, you're going to subtract 100 again. Okay, so here, the answer is A, 189.85 pesos. Now, here you can add 235.65 plus 100, and that is 335.65. And then you can subtract that from 525.50, and the answer is 189.85. Number 3, what is the greatest common factor of 48 and 56? So there are different ways on how you can find for the greatest common factor here. It's either you're going to think of the factors of 48 and 56 right away, but make sure that you get the greatest common factor. So the answer here is 8, letter D. So for 48, we have 6 times 8. And for 56, we have 7 times 8. Make sure that the remaining factors here, like 7 and 6, they don't have a common factor anymore. Okay, to make sure that you get the right factor, the greatest factor, you can use the prime factorization also. You need to get the prime factors of 6 and 8. For 6, we have 2 times 3, and for 8, we have 2 times 2 times 2. For 7, we know that 7 is already a prime number, and the prime factors of 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. And then look for the common factors. 2, another set of 2, another set of 2. So therefore, the GCF there is 2 times 2 times 2, and that is equal to 8. Here, find the lowest number, which is exactly divisible by 9 and 12. So one way to solve this kind of problem is you can use prime factorization. So the answer here is letter C, 36. So 9, the prime factors of 9, we have 3 times 3, and the prime factors of 12, we have 2 times 2, that is 4 times 3, that is 12. Now, check for the common factors here, but we only have one set. So you're just going to list that once. Okay? Then the remaining prime factors, you need to multiply it to this set. Okay, that set, you're going to list that once only. So this is 1 is 3. And then times the remaining factors. So 3 times 2 times another 2 and times another 3, the remaining 3. Okay, you multiply that. 3 times 2, that is 6 times 2, 12. 12 times 3, that is 36. And another way is by listing all the multiples of these numbers. So let's say 9. So 9 plus Start with 9 plus 9, that is 18, plus 9, 18 plus 9, 27, 27 plus 9, 36, 36 plus 9 is 45. And then for 12, we have 12 starts with 12, 12 plus 12, 24, 24 plus 12, that is 36, and 36 plus 12, 48. So you've seen already the least common multiple here. So that's 36. Here, another example. Train A arrives at the same station every 35 minutes. Train B arrives at the same station every 45 minutes. How many minutes will pass before both trains arrive at the same time? Okay, look at the problem. This is an example of least common multiple problems. Every 35 minutes. It means the next is 70 minutes. So plus 35 again. Same thing with this 45 minutes. So we are just going to add 45 minutes. So every 45 minutes, the train B will arrive. And what is or how many minutes will pass before both trains arrive at the same time? Which means we are looking for the least number of minutes that these trains arrive at that station at the same time. Okay, so means that we're going to use our knowledge about finding the least common multiple or LCM. There are two different ways on how to find the LCM, using prime factorization or by listing. Okay, now I'm gonna show to you the two methods and it's up to you to decide, but actually prime factorization is the easy one. So let's have that. The answer here is letter C. So for 35, if you're going to use prime factorization, you just need to get the prime factors of 35. So we have 7 times 5. So it's good already because 7 is a prime and 5 is also a prime. For 45, let's say 9 times 5. But here 9 is not a prime number yet. So we need to get the factors of, or the prime factors of 9, which is 3 times 3. Which means that is equal to 3 times 3 times 5. Okay, the next, you get the common factor here. So this is 5 and 5. Okay, so there is only one set. So what are you going to do is just list that once. Okay, so therefore that is now 5 and all the remaining factors here, 7, 3, and 3, you need to multiply that to 5. So that is times 3 times 3 times 7. And that is equal to 5 times 3 is 15 times 3 times 7, 315 minutes. Okay? Now, look at this one. If you're going to use listing in finding the multiples, 35. So 35 plus 35 is 70. 70 plus 35 is 105. Plus 35 plus 35 plus 35. Look at this. Okay, 315. For 45, 45 plus 45, 90. 90 plus 45, 135. Plus 45 again until you reach that common. It means if you can find any common multiples here, you need to continue. You need to go on until you reach that number. So here you can stop 315 and 315. It means it will take 315 minutes. So that's letter C. Now, if 8 kilograms of chicken cost 520 pesos, how much would 3 kilograms cost? Now, this is an example of ratio and proportion. So, how are you going to answer this one? So, letter D is the answer here, 195 pesos for 3 kilograms. Okay, so for ratio and proportion, applying that, you can write 8 kilograms for 520 is equal to 3 kilograms for X, because we don't know what the cost of 3 kilograms, which means make sure that, look at here, we have kilograms in the numerator. Make sure that in the second ratio here, it should be in kilogram also. 520, that's the cost. This is also the cost. So now you're just going to cross multiply this, like this. So that is now equal to 8x, and then 520 times 3, that is 1,560. Then you can divide both sides of the equation by 8, divided by 8, and that is equal to 195. So x is equal to 195. Or you can also do it like 8 kilograms over 3 kilograms should be equal to 520 kilograms over x. Look at this one. So we have the 8 kilogram, which is equivalent to 520. And then for 3 kilograms, equivalent to x. So same thing here. If we are going to cross multiply, that is 8x times, or 8 times x, or n is equal to 3 times 520. Okay, but the easiest way to solve this one also is simply, you're just going to divide 520 divided by 8. Okay, 520 divided by 8, you can get the cost of per kilogram, and that is 65, which means 65 pesos per kilogram, and then 65 times 3. Okay, and that is equal to 195. Now, find 20% of 40. So this is an example of percentage, base, and rate. So the answer is letter A. So percentage, base, times rate. So this is the formula. So what is the percentage? The percentage is the result when you multiply the base and the rate. So in this example, we need to identify, this is the rate, 20%. Rate is always in percent. And 40, this is the base. So we're looking for the percentage here, which means we're just going to multiply 40 times 20%. But since you are not allowed to use calculator here, you need to change percent to decimal. To change percent to decimal, simply, you're just going to move the decimal point 2 places to the left. It means the original decimal point is here, just move it here. So the answer here is 0.2 or 0.20. So it means what you're going to do is simply to get the percentage is 40 times 0.20, and that is equal to 8. Now, here's another problem about percentage, base, and rate. 12 is what number of 60? So you need to identify again what's the percentage and what is the base and the rate here. So the answer here is letter B. Okay, so now here 12 is what percent of 60? Take note of this. What percent? It means this is the rate of 60, and this is the base. This is now 12, the percentage. So therefore, percentage is equal to base times rate. So what is missing now is the rate. So to find for the rate is equal to, remember this one, we can have this P is equal to B times R. Now, to solve for the rate, the R, you can just divide the percentage by base. So the formula for finding the rate is simply here. You can derive the formula here. You're looking for the rate, therefore you're going to divide both sides by B. So this one will be cancelled. So what we have now is R. R is equal to percentage over base. So divide only. So now rate is equal to 12. That is the percentage divided by 60. And that is equal to 12 or 0.2. And that is the rate 0.2. But you need to change that to percent. Changing again decimal to percent. This time we're going to move the decimal point 2 places to the right. So 1, you need to add 1 0. So that is 20%. Next, we have here, Anne bought a cell phone at 15% discount. She paid 6,500 pesos. What was the original price? Okay, this is a word problem now. You need to really analyze this problem carefully. Now, take note that Anne bought at a 15% discount. So if the discount is 15%, it means that from the original price, which is 100%, she only paid 85%, right? Minus the 15, it means she only paid 85%. And that 85% is 6,500 pesos. Okay? So what means that if we're going to identify now, the rate here is no longer 15%. The rate is 85%. And this is now the percentage, and the original price is what we call the base. Okay, so now we have formula. The answer is letter C. Did you get it right? So here, percentage is equal to base times rate. Remember? So now, what is missing now is the base. So if we're going to substitute the value here, what is the percentage? That is 6,500, and that is equal to the base, which is unknown, times 85 or 0.85, which is the 85%. You need to change always the percent to decimal in order to multiply. So now, in order for you to solve for B, you need to divide both sides by 0.85. Okay? 0.85. Or, you can do it directly. The formula is to get for the base is simply is equal to percentage over rate. Okay? If you memorize that one. If you can memorize. But if not, just memorize this one. And then, if you want to find for percentage, just multiply the base and the rate. If you want to solve for the rate, R, just divide P by B. If you want to find for B, just divide P by R. Okay, so now here, what we have now is B is equal to 6,500 divided by 0.85. And that is equal to the base price now, or the original price is 7,647.06. Now, if you want to check if this is correct, you get this is the original price, right? You get 15% of this. If you want to double check, get 15% of 7,647.06, and then subtract the result from this, and the result should be 6,500. Identify the property illustrated here. Look at this one. We have groupings here on the side of this equation, and on the other side we group 5 and 7. It does not affect the equality. This kind of property illustrated is as letter A, associative property of multiplication. Next here, identify the property illustrated. Look at this one. 5 plus 7 is equal to 7 plus 5. So again, we change the order but doesn't affect the equality. And this is what we call commutative property of addition. The answer here is letter B. That's all for this video, and thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you'll get updated if I have incoming videos. See you in the next one. Bye!